But I think that we really do have to understand the concept of receptivity. This is really important because for the most part, I don't think we really understand what that means. In the science of mind, receptivity goes beyond just being drawn to something. And receptivity goes beyond just saying yes to having it in our lives. See, receptivity encompasses believing. Truly believing. Not just in the possibility of something, but actually believing in the reality of that something as it relates to you. When you look at your desire, do you know I am that? When you look at your dream, do you know I am that? See, and that's where we claim it from. That's what true receptivity is. That's what it means. That's what he's talking about when he's talking about receiving. But many of us have some very deep-seated beliefs as to why certain things just can't happen. We have some very deep-seated beliefs as to why it would be impossible for certain things to come about in our world. And those are the things that we have to get beyond. Those are the things that we have to be willing to let go of in order to step up and step out into the new experience that we're ready for. I think that the most important thing that we can recognize is that it's going to be new. It's going to be different. And many times we try to hold on to the same old things and want everything to change, and that's not going to happen. It's going to be new. It's going to be different. It's going to be uncomfortable. But sometimes I just wonder, why is it that we're so willing, so much more willing to believe in the things that we don't want than in the things that we truly do want? When we affirm in our treatments every day that this is a universe of love. See, the key element tells us that we're it. That's it. That's the key element of this whole teaching. We're it. And Ernest Holmes tells us in this chapter, he said, we look too far away for our reality. A reality that the Bible tells us is closer than our very breath. You ever stop and think about that? It's telling us that our good is closer than our very breath. Take a breath in right now. And now breathe it out. Now, what I want you to recognize is that anything in your life that could be closer to you than that would have to be built in. It would have to be your essence. It would have to be your essential makeup. It would have to already be here. So we have all these reasons why it can't happen. But what about loving ourselves and loving this power and presence that lives and moves and has its being within us, loving it enough and ourselves enough to say yes to the good that we're ready to experience and watch this power match it as we see ourselves as that quality. Watch it match it. Watch it hand it back to us in form by drawing that picture and saying, see, Dar? That's what it looks like. So we're in a very unique time in our teaching right now. A very unique time, a time when science is actually lining up with what it is that we teach. And in many instances, science is actually taking the lead. A time when we're encouraged to believe in our dreams. A time when we're actually seeing that there are equations that prove their possibility. So how many of us are willing to begin to dream a new dream, to open ourselves to a new truth, to open ourselves to something that we have never experienced before? You know, this is Martin Luther King's birthday weekend. And I think about the fact that he had a dream. And he had a dream, I'm going off, but he had a dream that if you think about it, there were no visible signs of that dream coming to manifest form. And he had the courage to dream it. What about us? What are you ready for the universe to match right now? What are you ready for the universe to draw you a picture of right now? What are you ready for the universe to hand you back in form right now because you have the courage to dream? I'm going to leave you with that question this morning. I'm not even going to go any further because I want to leave it. When I used to be in music class, we had a teacher that was a rather sadistic person, but he would play a scale, and he would leave off the last note. So he'd go, da 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 da, class dismissed, and it would leave you hanging. And it would leave you so uncomfortable that many times before people would even walk out, this is how uncomfortable it would leave you. Before people could walk out of the class, somebody would go over to the piano and hit that last note. Dum. And you just go, okay? So I'm leaving you this morning with that question. I'm leaving it open-ended. What are you ready to draw? What are you ready to accept? What are you ready for the universe to match in your life? And let that be your way. Thank you for being here this morning, and so it is.